Cafe Anyway.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1314. I am Mike Matthews, broadcasting from Cafe Anyway, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, Mont. The last place on earth today. It is Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, and the Brewmaster PLUS. We get to the interesting news segment. We'll get to a lot of interesting news things going on. It's a segment we call
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Ain't Life Grand? And I noticed something grand as I was driving in today.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
That the place that we do the show in, it is called Fremont, and it has got similarities to Vermont in that maple syrup is coming out of every tree. That's a lie. Why do you listen to me? No, actually, have you heard that nerd story, that news story that
Mike's Daily Podcast.
That Fremont is supposedly the happiest place on earth. It's the happiest town. It's
Mike's
the best place to live. Well,
Daily
what I discovered
Podcast
on my drive-in today is that it's not. It's not the happiest place, and I'll tell you why. Because every traffic signal has... Oh, my God. Oh. Thank you. Oh. Look who just walked. Hi, Mike. It's Benita, the rodeo queen. How you doing?
I ain't to this Disgruntled Fiddle Player, tell you what.
What?
We ride our horse in. Nearly.
That's what's going on. I'm allergic to Nilly. I didn't realize I was allergic to horses. Mom, that's sacrilege. All horses are wonderful and smell great. Oh, look who else just walked in.
Oh, Mike, I make the root beer. I'm the brewmaster. Oh, boy, how so delicious root beer.
Yesterday, you got mad at me. On the last show, you got mad at me because I poured my own.
That's right. Don't ever do that again.
Okay, I won't. At my job, we have a Keurig machine. At one point, about a year ago, the coffee pot had to sit on its own table. And somebody in the office, higher up, said, no, this table could be used for other things. This coffee machine is ridiculous. This coffee pot maker, coffee pot thing. We're taking it out.
And here's today's podcast picture.
It's a picture of me. Because I know you want to know what I look like. And also because...
This show is about me, and it always has been.
Haha.
Very funny.
You know, it is a picture of me. Do you like it?
Oh, boy, is this great!
Good. I wanted to use this one other thing.
Oh, well. La-di-da, la-di-da, la-la. Yeah.
Because that's how you have to look at life. Is, oh, well, la-di-da, la-di-da, oh, well. Anyway. Cafe Anyway. I was talking about Keurig. One of the greatest Danish words. Oh, but the podcast picture is of me at the Hayward Regional Shoreline, which is the most underrated. Nobody knows this place, and I shouldn't keep talking about it because then you'll know about it, and then you'll tell two friends, and so on, and everyone will go there. But I love this place to walk my dog. Basile le Marcel. That's how you say his name in French, Basil the Boxer. And I took this picture. It is a selfie. It's a selfish society is selfish today. We're a selfie society, selfie. And it is of me there. And they have these beautiful little marshes, and you see all these amazing little birds. Sandpipers, but other birds that are these beautiful... Well, you don't see all this in the podcast picture today, but they have wonderful markings, and they make these cute little chirping sounds. Wait, that's a pigeon. I think that's a drunk pigeon. Well, Cafe Well. No, wait. It's Cafe Anyway. Sorry.
Anyway.
The fact is, our Keurig, some idiot decided, hey, I don't know who it was. Somehow it just magically appeared. This adapter. It's a coffee adapter to make your own coffee and not have to use Keurig. Keurig makes their own little capsule, but we don't know what's in those capsules. We don't know what's in those pods. They're called pods. Pods are scary. Pods can mean anything. Mike's Daily Podcast, for example. Por ejemplo. Oh.
Would you like some coffee?
Yes.
When the coffee's first rate, so is everything else.
So the coffee, people that are afraid of the manufactured coffee pods, of which there are more than just Keurig, right? Starbucks makes some, everything. I just used right. I sound so hipster cool millennial because I threw a right in my sentence. Yeah, and so they make these coffees, right? And but people are afraid of those pods, right? Because they didn't make those pods. So what the hell is in those pods? There could be all kinds of scary things and sawdust or whatever. Rat feces. So they are afraid and they're scared and they're schizophrenic and paranoid. I don't know what they are. I don't know what the psychological term is. We talk a lot about conspiracy theorists on this show. Not theories, but theorists, because they fascinate me, those theorists. And a lot of them are hot, and I'm very attracted to a lot of them, and I don't mind telling you. And that's just how I am. And that's weird. But that's how I am. But that's weird. But that's how I am. But that's neither here nor there, or up there, or over there, or on top of that thing. What is that thing here at Cafe Anyway? I'm not sure.
Mike, that's what I used to make the oat beer. Oh boy.
How does it work?
Where you press this button. Oh.
What?
To make the oat beer, you press this button. Oh.
I don't understand.
Where did you make this?
Bueller.
To make this button.
Bueller.
Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
No, it's not. So I press it. Oh, I call my machine Einstein.
That's a fitting name. Yeah, so what happens is they put the fake coffee, they make their own pods with the coffee. Well, the Keurig machine doesn't like that. So what ends up happening is you completely, and by F, I mean you make a fantastic mistake. You F up this machine, and now it will not work correctly. It takes 5 minutes to make 1 cup of coffee. We could have just made a whole pot of coffee. Thank you. The end. That was the end. Goodbye, sir. You are not needed anymore. You do not win the Willy Wonka race. Goodbye. You don't get the Great Gobstopper. I was trying to go Willy Wonka there, but I can't. I'm not like you, who can just recite all of those movie quotes. You with your super brain. I come up with my own quotes. I quote myself. Deal with it. So what I'm saying is Fremont, traffic lights, the longest traffic lights on the planet. And now, on the stretch of street that I use to get to work, there used to be this nice long stretch of about 2-3 blocks that there was no stoplight. I could just drive down. Well, what's there today? A stop sign. A stop sign has just magically appeared, and now I have to stop on the street at 4 a.m. where no one else is. Because Fremont has the longest traffic lights, and now they put a stop sign in an idiot place that it's a T. It's not an intersection, it's a T. So basically, it's a T section, and we stop and we have tea, and we talk about the Brexit. Because we're worried about leaving the union. Wait, I'm not British. And it's completely unnecessary is my point. So soon, every intersection, this is what I predict, every intersection in Fremont is going to have a stupid stop sign or light. Be able to go anywhere in Fremont. It'll take you an hour to go not even half a mile. maybe a block. It'll take you that long in Fremont, the happiest place on earth. That's all I had to say. Just have to rest after that rant. My Fremont rant. I have a Bart rant too, but I'll wait for that one. That's just a quick little snippet of that. I don't understand here in the Bay Area, which I moved to 8 years ago. We have this wonderful public transportation system. In California, we're not that big on public transportation. We love our cars. But here in the Bay Area, you've got this magnificent BART system. Well, how do we treat it? Like crap. We graffiti over it. We pee on the seats. Have you ever ridden in a BART at rush hour? It's so quiet, and everyone's just seething with anger. And it's horrible. And then BART jacks up the prices every year or every couple months. They increase the fee. And then they want, during election time, to raise to put a new tax. Vote for measure blah, so that we can raise money, because we're out of money and we're about to go bankrupt. That's my... I guess I just ranted about BART. What do you think? Give me a call, 336-MM-DAILY. That's 336-MM-DAILY here at Cafe Anyway. I'm just going to zip through a couple other things. Freedom Caucus are idiots, although I did see Representative David Schweikart of Arizona on C-SPAN this morning, and he's from the Freedom Caucus, and he was actually making sense. Republican, and he... First off, has the nicest personality. He had the nicest voice. Okay, I work with a guy who thinks that the only good voice in radio has to be the low, robust voice like that. Has to be deep and earthy and round. But David Schweikart did not have a voice like that, but it was the most pleasant voice. I just wanted to keep hearing him talk. He was taking calls live on C-SPAN. And you know how people say to you, hey, how you doing? And you know they don't give a hoot about how you are doing? Well, David Schweikart does this thing where if you ask him, hey, how are you doing? And then this caller was about to go into their point, but David Schweikart said, how am I doing? I'm doing great. My little granddaughter is looking through the glass right here at the studio. It's the cutest thing. You can't see it because the cameras are pointed at me, but it's the cutest thing. I'm doing great. I couldn't ask for anything more. That's how we should all answer that question. It's like, hey, if you're going to ask me a question that really, if you dissect it, is asking me how I'm doing, there's layers to that inquiry. You want me to just kind of go, oh, good, and that's it? No, I'm going to tell you, since you care so much. And then, oh boy, is Nilly left? Mark, no, she's right here. Hi, Nilly. Good horse. Good horse. Ow, you bit me, stupid horse. Hey, there was a weird lady that I saw in Castro Valley yesterday as I was walking Basil the Boxer. And she was offering my dog a treat. Now, what I should have said was, no, back off, you weird bat. But instead, what I did was I said, oh, okay, sure, because I trust everyone, and that's probably a fault. To a fault, I am at fault. So she gave Basil a treat, and we walked away. She liked dogs. She looked lonely. I've actually talked to her before. She's always at the Castro Valley Starbucks in the Castro Village. And so I'm walking Basil, and Basil's like licking his chops after that. And I'm like, why is he doing that? Did that woman just poison my dog? And we're walking and he's still licking his chops. Finally, I stop and I open up his mouth. And it's not easy to open up a dog's mouth, and nor do you want to like take a big whiff of what's inside the woof. But I opened up his mouth, and there's this thing, like kind of in that area just before the throat, where the tongue is, like kind of towards the end of the tongue there in the back of the mouth. And I'm looking, and I pull out the treat she gave him. And the treat was not, it was like too big. Like Basil was trying to eat the whole thing, and it was like a piece of jerky that was big, about the size of a square you'd get from Ghirardelli's, for those of you in the Bay Area. Ghirardelli's chocolate. And it was just sitting in the back of his throat, and he was trying to eat it, and he couldn't. So I took it out of his mouth and threw it into the bushes, and a squirrel ate it. No, I don't know what happened to it. But that's it. I'm done with taking treats from strangers. I know I should have learned that lesson long ago, but I'm too trusting. I'm an idiot. Finally, the filibuster about Gorsuch and the Democrats filibustering. And I go back and forth on this. In some ways, I see this as petty revenge for what the Republicans did to the Democrats with Merrick Garland.
Revenge is a dish best served cold. You think about that.
And I feel the Democrats are so mad at the Republicans for last year not even doing a hearing to vet Merrick Garland. No. So that they're doing this to Gorsuch. And in some ways, I look at Gorsuch and say, oh, I can deal with him. But then I say, you know what? I am a vengeful God, and I will say this to Mitch McConnell. And I mean F in the nicest way possible. I mean it in Fantastic Fairyland. I say to Mitch McConnell, F you. It's throwdown time. And here we go. Get ready for filibustering, bitch. I mean, Mitch. It's so easy to make that mistake. People, finally, and this is the finally, I am telling all of you people that host radio shows or get on television or try to talk to me just in general conversation, and you throw a bunch of jargon out. We have a couple of radio shows on our business station where people just throw out jargon about real estate or money and just throw out da-da-da-da-da. Here, I got a list right here. This book, let's see. Okay, now I don't have an example. It's fiduciary, ESPs, RSUs, 401ks, Roths, yield, ARMs. I don't know what any of these things are. Oh, what's the other one that I've worked in financial radio for long enough I should just rattle these off the top of my head. Well, just there's, bonds, ARMs, 4K audits. Well, just the stuff that we say that you hear in any business. There's jargons. And stop. Okay, let's go to the website, MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com, where there is no jargon. We dumb it down. All I'm saying is, when you start talking to me with your jargon, I'm going to stop you, and I'm going to ask you to explain. That's all. And we should all do that. And maybe the people that just rattle off jargon and assume everyone knows what they're talking about will slow down for us, because we need it. And if you'd like to help out the show, MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. I was just taking a rant breather because I had just gone on for so long, and I've just had to.
I'm taking a breather. Sorry.
MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com and the Amazon link. Click on that Amazon link. Buy whatever it is you're going to buy. There's also the PayPal link there. You can help support the show that way and see all the past podcast pictures. Now, the segment called
Life Grand.
Define your terms is all I'm saying. A top antiquities official says an Egyptian excavation team has discovered the remains of a new pyramid that dates back to the 13th dynasty. A dynasty is a group, a family of... Okay, I'm not going to start defining terms. That rule does not apply to me. Some 3,700 years ago, the head of the ancient Egyptian antiquity sector said in a statement that the remains were located north of King Seneferu's Bent Pyramid in the Dashur Royal Necropolis south of Cairo. Due to the bent slope of its sides, the pyramid is believed to have been ancient Egypt's first attempt to build a smooth-sided pyramid. Isn't that amazing? A pyramid discovered after all this time. Other remains include blocks showing the interior design of the pyramid. And remains belong to the inner structure of the pyramid, including a corridor. Then, Verizon is merging with Yahoo and AOL. Verizon merges Yahoo with AOL after its acquisition of Yahoo closed. The newly created division will get a new name called Oath. In a deal, In a deal that was first announced last July, Verizon will acquire Yahoo's core internet business. And when I say Yahoo, I mean the executive vice president. Verizon is going to scoop up Yahoo's search, mail, content, and ad tech business. So I guess I will still have a Yahoo account. In January, Yahoo announced in an SEC filing that following the close of the merger, the parts of Yahoo that Verizon is not buying will continue under the name to Altaba. It's unclear if the Yahoo name will live on at all for any part of the internet business that will be run by AOL. However, Business Insider, where I grabbed this from, expects to see a big new branding campaign in the coming week, along with more details about the new company. Then, Warren Buffett, he's a big rich guy that knows fiduciary. That I have no idea what that means. Explain that term. Warren Buffett's face is going to appear on cans of cherry Coke in China, an attempt by Coca-Cola to capitalize on its biggest and most famous investor. Yes, Warren Buffett. His face. And you're going to go to China just to get that, aren't you? Get that can of Coke with Warren Buffett on it. It introduced cherry Coke in the Asian nation on March 10th, and it'll offer the Buffett cans for a limited time while supplies last. Berkshire Hathaway, which Buffett owns, his investment firm, owns 9.3% of Coca-Cola, a holding valued at $17 billion. He's 86. And he's been a major shareholder in the beverage giant for more than a quarter century, and he spent about $1.3 billion building the stake. Then there is the Kroger, a big old supermarket that I used to shop at all the time when I lived in Alabama, is going after Target and Walmart by expanding a new type of store featuring home goods. Yes, Kroger will have home goods instead of groceries. Well, as well as groceries. Clothing and kitchen appliances as well. Kroger Marketplace is what it will be called. Features nearly everything you would find in a Target or Walmart store, but with a greater focus on groceries, alcohol, and prepared foods. It's going to be nice. It's going to be upscale. And Kroger has nearly 3,000 stores, more than 120 of which are marketplace stores. Fox News has canceled its overnight news comedy program called Red Eye. What's the most shocking thing about this revelation is that Fox News has an overnight news and comedy program called Red Eye. A wonderful revelation that I had no idea. It was launched actually in 2007 when it was hosted by Greg Gutfeld. And his face looks frickin' familiar, but I don't really know where else. So, the fact that Fox News had a comedy program, I'm sorry, conservative comedy is not funny. You can't, as Jimmy Dore once said, comedy can't punch down. It has to punch up to be funny. I know that makes no sense to you or me, but it's true. Our Hours after President Donald Trump told MSNBC or NBC or one of those stations that he was serious about reaching a deal on health care with members of his party, Vice President Mike Pence headed to Capitol Hill. This was last night, armed with a compromise proposal for the House conservatives who had helped doom the Republican health care bill a little more than a week ago. Details of the proposal emerged after Pence met with moderate Republican members at the White House earlier in the evening. The administration is trying to hash out a compromise on insurance regulations. To which, some of you that go, oh, Obamacare messed up the health insurance industry. No! You forgot. The health insurance industry was crap. You forgot about that, and I just reminded you. And finally, drones are now used for all sorts of things. I told you on the last show about seeing drones in Podcaster Valley over the weekend, watching a couple young people flying them around and shooting each other with lasers. No, that didn't happen, but that would have been really cool. Now a tiny startup in California's Bay Area is working on what it hopes will be the next big thing: large autonomous drones capable of moving freight across the Pacific Ocean more cheaply than conventional piloted cargo planes and faster than cargo ships. This company's in Richmond, and they're called Nautilus. I don't think it's Nautilus because I don't see a U after the A, so I'm thinking it's Nautilus. Building a 30-foot prototype drone that could take to the air for the first time later this year. If all goes as planned, the firm will develop an 80-foot drone that will begin flying routes from LA to Hawaii in 2019. A 140-foot drone with a 200,000-pound cargo capacity could be flying routes to China starting as early as 2020. It's made of carbon fiber composites powered by jet engines. They would take off from the water, eliminating the need for landing gear and long landing strips. It would land on water several miles from port before taxiing to the dock where cranes could unload the cargo. They're amphibious drones, and they can cruise an altitude of 20,000 feet and would fly slower than piloted cargo planes. Damn! What an amazing world. Okay, and this is the final thing. 2 days after the November election, leaders of President Trump's transition team presented his inner circle with more than 100 names for candidates for key cabinet and other senior positions in the new administration. Missing from the list for the post of National Security Advisor was Michael Flynn, according to two knowledgeable staff officials. Flynn was a loyalist who had a close relationship with Trump. It was obvious to the transition team Trump would give him a prominent appointment. But among some of those tasked with bringing forward prospective candidates, there was a belief that Flynn was ill-suited for the critically important job. Trump, however, has his own list of candidates, and Flynn was at the top. 11 days after winning the election, he announced Flynn as his choice. So that's kind of what's going on in the cabinet. You can read more on the Washington Post. And it goes on and on and on. And you know what? I don't have a cabinet. I just have my friends here at Cafe Anyways. We go outside of Cafe Anyway. We're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcaster Valley. And all I know is you got to trust people. Or do you? Or do you have to be deathly afraid of everyone and paranoid that they're going to put a stop sign somewhere and you can't get to work as fast as you thought? Damn. And that you're allergic to horses, but they're still really beautiful creatures. Next show, it is Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Email Mike now at MIKES-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!